community, it's CV back. I'm about to go away next week for a trip for work, so I thought it'd be best, as my inbox back here is piling up, to quickly go through some and show you what I've been picking up lately. So this episode is more about general rock, I suppose. No jazz in this pile here. There will be more jazz coming up for those who are interested, but this is all general rock, broadly speaking. What's everyone been doing? For me, well, obviously preparing for my trip at the moment to go away next week. I'm going to Victoria, up in the northwest area for work, and then I'll be back on Friday. So today's Sunday. Record Store Day, that's sort of the news everyone's talking about in the VC. And March the 6th for me, or March the 5th in the US, Canada, the list will be revealed. So there's been a few items leaked already, that I've come across, some jazz, South American jazz, I think. A couple of those like little box 7-inch singles. So anyway, I'm hanging out for that. Cannot wait. And as soon as that list is released, I'll be going through it and then putting up my my top picks and my thoughts on that. So start saving your pennies because it ain't going to be cheap. We know that. All right, let's go. No time to muck around. This is West Theberton, a band from South Australia, in the state of South Australia. As you see, most of the things here, I've kept them in the covers. Most stuff I buy, I mean, they're not sealed. I open them and play them, but I keep the shrink on. I saw these guys live in late 2018 in Brisbane when they supported the Living End. When I heard they were supporting, I never heard of them before. So, again, that sort of rock. There on the stage was interesting. That the drummer, Kaylin, she was phenomenal. I thought she was excellent. And I thought, well, they had about 4 or 5 guitarists on stage. So it was quite a noise. They got a new song out. This is probably their debut album, I believe. They've had EPs before it. But I had to get my hands on this, as I have seen them live, and I've grown to like this album more over time. Auto American Blondie on the Crisis label. Original, probably US sample record. Well, it says sample record, but would you sell this as a test press? It's not a white label, I think, but someone's put a sticker on there, so if you can see that or not. But does that genuinely make it well, it's a sample press. I guess a sample press is different to a test press. So, but some massive songs on this album, and I've played through most of it yesterday, and it was a lot better than I thought. So if you're sort of sitting on the fence about Blondie, or I don't know, definitely get this one. Muse, Origin of Symmetry. It's a double LP, 180 re-release, probably a 2015, something like that. Nothing really exciting to show, I don't think. It's all pretty basic cardboard, very minimal artwork. Reminds me of the Arctic Monkeys. So even the labels are just, everything's plain. Mainly bought this for my wife. Muse, I do like. I was watching them live last night. Do like a stripped down version of Starlight, which was great on YouTube. For me, I don't know. Prog rock time. Curved air conditioning. As you can see, a beautiful Japanese press. Look at that. I've got a couple of theirs now, and they never disappoint. Really cool, laid back music for me. Check them out. Van Morrison and his band and the Street Choir. So this has Domino on there. I've yet to play this. One, but hey, it was about $7, Fiji plus, US I think press. Why not? That's Van Morrison, you know. Finally got my first one of this group. I think it's the self-titled Traffic. These next few I got off one of my main dealers. He must have come from the same place. No, that's not a correct. That's the. There you go. Beautiful and clean. When you smell inside some of these records, you know how you look inside the cover just in case there's something in there. It's like, whoa, really, really bad smoke smell. It's okay. I don't smoke, but every one out of this lot that I got smelt the same. All these few records, and you can see why. So you got Traffic, of course. Excellent. Lou Reed, Coney Island, baby. Another very good record. Not my favourite Lou Reed's, but I've got a few of his now. Again, readable smoke inside the cover, but that's fine. It plays through. Robert Fripp, my very first Robert Fripp album. Exposure. It's a 79 US press. There you go. And again, someone was having a good party when they put these records on. I haven't played this properly. I don't know a lot about Robert Fripp, you know, apart from his background, but his own music. For me to give you some comments about it, but it's in that rocky thing. Robin Trower. Again, it was part of this party this bloke was having. Surprised me. I really enjoyed this. Most of his albums don't really, well, from what I can see, don't really get high ratings. This is probably, am I wrong, his most well known. I'm not sure what others are out there I should be listening to, but it was cool. I honestly need to spend more time listening to this stuff to give you guys some good feedback. So, Earth and Fire, another prog rock band. I think I got this for $5 VG plus. Couldn't believe it. There you go. See how I keep all the original sleeves, if they're original. I just keep everything. I think it's all part of the. People say romance. I don't know if that's the word. It's just, for me, it's just part of the collection. You know, when you play a record, you have a good look through the covers and everything. I like seeing anything original that came with this. With the record you listen to, I want to keep. So, excellent prog rock stuff. Earthfire is not someone I knew up until a couple of months ago. It was on a list for sale. I thought, who's this? Check it out on Spotify, and bam, excellent. I really got to speed up here. Paul Simon's one of his early ones. What have we got on here? Sorry. Oh yeah, Me and Julio, of course. That's how it starts off. Again, another cheapie, but you know it's a goodie. I enjoyed it. Actually enjoyed it. Now, do I prefer early Paul Simon? Do I prefer Simon and Garfunkel? Or do I prefer later Paul Simon? I'm probably trending to preferring early Paul Simon. There you go. Another Tom Waits album. I think this is a Jap press. It is. It's in perfect condition. Worth a bit of value. This one. Foreign Affairs. It's just Tom at his best. As usual. What do you expect? Have I shown these before? Television, Marquee Moon. I've had this for good. Actually, I've had records in here now since October. I haven't even shown yet, so that's why I'm getting confused. But absolute brilliant album. Loved it. Would it be in my top 10 albums in my collection? I'm not sure, but he would be pushing it. He would definitely be pushing it. Again, Television is someone I really only came across a few years ago, and loved them. Neil Young. I've still got a few Neil Youngs to hunt down. This cost a bit, but it's a beautiful condition Japanese press. Comes a time, we all know that song, so just great stuff. Neil Young. Dragon, an Australian band who I saw with the new singer, of course, perform, and this is Dreams of Ordinary Men, which reminds me of being in about year 7 at high school, being in a small bus, driving to play tennis, because I was a tennis player back then. There you go, that's my memory. Lou Reed, of course, Dirty Boulevard, Romeo and Juliet. In the VC, this is very, very highly regarded album. Very highly regarded album. Not overproduced by whatsoever. It's just Lou Reed at his finest, really. Just Lou Reed with a nice, clear, clean sound. And Dirty Boulevard was a massive hit here in Australia, and geez, it sounds good on. That sound is amazing still today. Playing on the vinyl player back here, it's just incredible. Uriah Heep, Wonderwell. Yep, let's start with the back of the record. There you go, here's the front. Again, Uriah Heep, one of those bands where the first sort of 10 studio albums are excellent. Well, maybe the first 8. Let's not get 2 or 7. 8. And they never disappoint. Some good rock music. Ted Nugent didn't pay much for this. It's a bit beat up the cover, but record's all in good order. I've got the original sleeve I kept in, which looks dirty. That's just back cover there. So it's just Ted being Ted, playing fine guitar. Interesting guy. Anyone heard him on a podcast recently? I think he was with what's his name from the UFC, who has these big podcasts and commentates on the pay-per-view events. Oh, he's forgotten his name. He's had him on his show. So if you look him up, if you know who I mean, look that up. It's an interesting interview. Another prog rock. So there's a few prog rocks here. Gentle Giant. In a Glass House, this one, Gentle Giant. I've got 2 or 3 Gentle Giants. There's quite a few others that are in their early catalogue, but listening to them digitally, I'm just not sure if I'm going to be buying any more of theirs. I think I've got what's interested to me anyway. But again, typical prog rock sort of. There's a lot of build up, a lot of momentum, a lot of quiet periods. You just don't know what you're going to get from one song to the next, you know. Mainly bought for my wife. It's Bjork and Post. What an album this was when it came out. Massive in Australia. Bjork played at the Big Day Out Festival a couple of times, I think, or at least once. And there's a little story that says that when she got here, it was just before she was going out, it rained a lot. It was mud, and she had her boots and dress, and she was going to refuse to play. So one of the organisers just threw her over her shoulder. It was actually her. Threw it over her shoulder and walked all the way to the stage, so she couldn't get a bit of mud on herself. But anyway, can't argue with that. It's such a fine album. Every song is amazing. Well produced, well written, good stuff. That's, as I said, it's more for the wife, that one. Just a few more to go, guys. Paul Kelly, comedy. Again, it's a double album gatefold, but I haven't opened it yet because I kept the shrink on. Paul Kelly, of course, the Australian singer, who's just announced another gig for July in Australia. I haven't seen him. He's one guy I've been hanging out to see, but I just don't know if I'll go to this out there to that venue to see him, but you don't know. Big songs, Winter Coat. You have to look these up. Sydney from an A727. From Little Things, Big Things Grow. which is an awesome song and being used in TV advertising here, I think from Banks. Yeah, so I mean, it's Paul Kelly, brilliant. You know I love Paul Kelly, so I'll keep adding. Last record store day, I think you guys knew I was after this. This was my number one pickup, and I got it. It was really cool because the store I rang about, about 6 weeks before Record Store Day in November, Black Friday, sorry. I sort of took my name and they said, "Oh, if we don't know, if we get it, do you want us to call you?" I said, "Oh yeah, that's fine, but I was going to get it from another store." But the store I was going to get it from didn't get it in, and I thought, oh well, it's gone. But they rang me up. They rang me up on Black Friday, the first store. I gave my number, and I was surprised. And they said, "We've only got 2 copies, but you're the guy who first spoke to us about it, so we're just calling you, giving you the opportunity to buy it." And I was like, I was so surprised. I was so thankful for them, and the price was a bit better than normal retail here in Australia. So, and they held on to it, and my mum, who lives closer to the shop than I do, I'm a couple of hours away, thankfully picked it up and gave it to me at Christmas. So Pearl Jam Unplugged, already selling for about 80 Australian dollars average now, not surprising. Wow, I got this probably about September, October last year. I haven't shown it, I don't believe. Smashing Pumpkins, Melancholy, and The Infinite Sadness. This is that big box set. This sells for about 150 average now. Like, I'm not going to take it all out. It's got everything. It's got that amazing booklet. There's about four, I assume 4 albums in there, 4 records. The box is still in awesome condition. Even the spine, as you can see, is being well looked after. The guy reckons he didn't even play it, so obviously the strings come off and all that, but I think I paid about $80 for this. Just stoked to have it. I played a bit of it. Lastly, one I picked up in November, Red Hot Chili Peppers, Blood, Sugar, Sex, Magic. This is actually on Warner Brothers, 2 records. There you go. Sorry. Just the usual Warner Brother label on the vinyl. Nothing exciting, but that's all there. So that is a quick catch up for general rock that I've picked up in the last few months. I still got a heap more back here. I've got sections of piano, guitarist, more blues and jazz, like sax, trumpet, horn section, general blues and jazz, and just a few other ones which I'll leave explained further later on. From a retail store, you may not expect to find this stuff. So anyhow, so there you go. I need to get ready for my trip. Thank you. I know there's a lot there to cover. Do you have any of those albums in your collection? Any thoughts on those, like Robert Fripp and Trowell and that? What do you think? As I'm just starting to learn about them, should I be picking up next? Because I'm not really sure at this stage. So music is an experience and a journey, that's for sure. Alright guys, talk to you later. Ciao.